We just need to try and look after what we've got and make sure that it's handed down to the next generation in a better condition than we've got at the moment, really. My name's Ian Edwards, and I work as a head guide in Wicklow Mountain National Park. So the Wicklow Mountain National Park, it's the largest area of upland in Ireland. It's about 300 square kilometres. The national park covers about 200 square kilometres, and it's mostly open hillside. There's areas of what we call dry and wet heath, depending on the topography, depending on how wet the terrain is. And then we have areas that are really wet, that are blanket bog, so they're extremely wet. So the areas of dry heath that we've got is characterised by heather, which is really beautiful in sort of the mid to late summer. It's full of purples and pinks. It's gorgeous to look at, and the blanket bog's really interesting too. It's got lots of bog pools, little lawns and hummocks. So you have to get up really close to them, and you see really beautiful little plants like the carnivorous sundew plant that catches insects. It actually eats them. It's amazing. The wet, the dry heath, the blanket bog, these are all protected habitats under the EU Habitats Directive. So we've got quite a good area or range of bog in Ireland, but the area itself is reducing, and the structure and the functions within the bog are not as good as they could be. So it's all classified really as sort of doing quite badly under conservation. So we have to take actions to try and reverse loss of area and improve the structure and function of the bog. So my colleagues Hugh and Declan, they had cut the heather and they piled it up, and then they were bagging it into these large builder's bags. So that will be airlifted by helicopter to an area of bog which is really badly eroded. There's no vegetation on it, but through wind and rain and possibly overgrazing in the past. So that cut vegetation will be spread on that surface to protect it, and then hopefully with the seed that's already in the cut heather, it'll germinate and it'll start to regenerate and grow again. And by doing that, you're going to stop lots of runoff, because at the moment with the rainfall, that's just taking the exposed peat downstream, and surely and slowly the peat is just being transported away. So hopefully this will stop that, or it will reduce that, and hopefully we'll get the bog regenerating. You have to have hope, and I think a lot of land, about 20% of the Irish landscape, has been designated under the special area conservation. So these habitats have been designated and protected, and then there's certain actions we can do. So it's something we can do. We can take actions, management actions, to try and make sure that we bring them back up to a favourable conservation status with the right sort of structure and functions in place. So that's going on at the moment. There are enthusiastic and passionate conservation rangers and general operative and education staff that are all doing their bit to try and make sure that the land is valued, that it's looked after, and is supporting the wildlife that we want to see when we go out for a walk.